everyone, my name is Chloe, and today we're here to talk about my November stats, standouts, and an update on my large physical TBR, and if I am actually making headway in my goal of finishing at least some of the books that I'm reading off my shelves. But let's just get into it. So this is going to be a pretty quick video because I'm feeling very blah about my reading, and that shows in what I chose to read this month. I felt like I had a big TBR, especially nonfiction, and so I felt like I kind of put myself in a box where I needed to read nonfiction, and weirdly, nonfiction is just not hitting this month, and so it's kind of made me slumpy. I've kind of had just like a slumpy year. I'm honestly excited. I do my end of the year content in January because I want the year to be completely done. Plus, there's so many videos with Vlogmas and everything else that I like to wait a little bit. And I'm really excited to see the final numbers on that because I feel like my average for this year is going to be low because I just have had sort of a slumpy year, but the quantity is high. The quality is just not. So this month I read 40 books and DNF 2. Now, a lot of those books were middle grade. We had, in fact, 21 were chapter books, 16 were novels, 1 was a graphic novel, 1 was a devotional, and 1 was a short story. So as far as like age range, 22 were middle grade, 16 were adult, and 2 were young adult, which is something I don't ever really read. But I read 8,375 pages, which is an average of 279 pages per day. Again, with the middle grade, that makes it a little more doable. 9 of the books I read with my kids, and then 31 I read by myself. Like I said, 21 chapter books, 16 novels, and then devotional, graphic novel, and short story. I read 17 new to me authors and 23 like repeat authors, which I think is interesting. I've just started tracking that, and I think it's just interesting. I don't have a goal or really any purpose in tracking that except just to see kind of how often I'm trying new authors and if maybe that's the problem or what. But anyway, 24 of the books were on my shelf and 16 were from somewhere else, which you would think would mean my TBR has gone down at least 24 books. However, that does count the middle grade that we read off the shelf, and I don't have those in my like total because that would be outrageous. 26 of the books I used Libby to help with, to help read either audio, digitally, whatever the case may be. 4 were from the library, 4 were just off my shelf, 2 were from Spotify, which I feel so great about because it like is a compulsion in me that I can't waste my 15 Spotify hours, so I feel really good about that. 2 were from NetGalley, which I also feel good about. I tend to not request things on NetGalley because I don't like the pressure, but middle grade we've been reading more on ebook, which you will see. But so some of that has come from NetGalley, and I actually do have an adult one right now, but anyway, 1 from Hoopla and 1 from Kindle. Then I read 22 on audio, 10 on ebook, and 8 physically. So normally my ebook number is not that high. The reason is because my kids and I have been reading on ebook for a few reasons. One, it's easy obviously to have as we are going places. One of my kids is starting the orthodontic journey, and so we've got some dentist appointments. We've got different things going on where we have like small chunks of time out and about, and so that's an easy way to do that. But more so at night I am putting the baby down as I'm reading to the bigger girls, and so it's really nice to be able to be in the dark and read to them because it puts her down quicker. You know, it just works out better. So for that reason, we've been reading more ebooks, and it's made me not want to read them for my own reading, but it's been nice for the kid reading. So whatever. I read 4 new release and 36 backlist. And yeah, my genres, I read 18 contemporary books, just general contemporary, can't figure out where else it falls. A lot of these are middle grade. 10 nonfiction, 5 magical realism, 4 romance, 2 women's fiction, and 1 historical. Storygraph says my moods were emotional, reflective, mysterious, and lighthearted. Those are the 4 biggest bars. I don't know when they switched to a bar graph instead of a pie chart, but so it goes. I guess I don't think I have an opinion about it. I kind of like the bar graph, but it makes it harder for this video probably. The Storygraph said my pace. Now, this might be the problem. They said the pace was 20% slow and 80% medium. No fast-paced books. And I feel like I need some fast-paced books. So I'm really excited for December, truthfully, because I think I'm going to mood read. Depending on my book I'll revisit, I'm going to mood read most of December, and I'm really excited about that because I think I don't know what I need, though. That's the problem. So star ratings, obviously I had the 2 DNFs, I had 2 2-stars, 2 2.5 stars, 13 3-stars, 13 3.5 stars, 8 4 stars, and 2 4.5 stars. So that's an average of 3.36, which is not great. Honestly, a 3.5 is like, this book was fine. You guys read it if you're interested. Don't if you don't. So the fact that it's below that is just not great. Storygraph says my average is actually 3.28. If you can hear, my kids are arguing over a little text card, but the Storygraph was 3.28, and that is just the books that I'm reading for myself, not middle grade of any sort. So even lower for my own personal reads, which is just discouraging. I don't feel like I'm like picking things out of obligation. I don't feel like any of that is going on necessarily, except for I did, like I said, kind of want to steer with the nonfiction, stick somewhat to my TBR, and so maybe, but like, I think I just don't know what I like lately, and I don't know what that's about. So when it comes to like best or the standouts for the year or for the month, I don't really have any. I loved the devotional that I read, which was Tonight We Pray for the Mama, and this is by Sally Clarkson not Sally Clarkson, Becky Thompson and her mom, Susan Pitts, and I loved that. But really all my other like 4 and 4.5 star reads were like middle grades, and middle grades are fine. They're kind of scratching the itch of just a quick read, but like they're not what I want to. I don't know what I want to be reading, guys. I don't know. So we're gonna hope that the December TBR hits. You guys, I've got a 1-year-old right here, and she is like full-fledged, just a noisemaker always. So if you can hear random grunts and shouts, that's her. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what I want to read. So we're gonna hope that the December TBR just hits or something. I don't know. If you've got any advice, it's not like a slump necessarily. I'm still enjoying reading and I'm still wanting to read. I just am not liking anything. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but give me your tips down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.